All right, guys, so let's proceed further. So today, again, we'll be try building our foundation and fundamentals, right? We'll try understanding how basically Hibernate works internally. What are the different things basically happens? Still, we won't be going so in depth of that because still we are just starting with Hibernate. So a lot of things I will be hiding, and the things that I feel that right now you guys can understand, I will be communicating those things. So now it is going to be your responsibility to let me know if you are not able to understand something, okay, so that I can basically verify those things. And let me tell you one more thing. I am not connected with my microphone today because I'll be using my tablet today, and because I need to draw something. So please let me know if sometime my voice is breaking or there is any background noise coming from my end. Okay, cool. So let's proceed further. Perfect. So now we have a project here called Hibernate First Project. Let me go to the source main Java. Instead of coding much, let's try and understand few things here. Okay, let me basically resume where I left in the last session, and maybe I have given you guys a challenge, right? And I have asked you a few questions, and I also told you how we'll be solving this thing. For an example right now, here I have an app called my update app. Let's quickly see what's happening here. So here we're opening the session factory, checking if the session factory is not null, opening the session, and then using the session, we're trying to load the number 2 record data right over here. And once that data has been loaded, I'm trying to change something with that particular song object right over here. And basically I'm trying to update it. Okay, so we will be seeing right now few internals of Hibernate, and we'll be understanding what do you mean by automatic dirty checking, and how basically session, or what we call persistence context, because session in the JPA world also called as persistence context, how that thing basically works. Perfect. So now before we get started, let me go to the SQL workbench. So here you guys can see that I have an object. I have a table called song. Let me try to load the number 2 data at this time. Maybe a number 2 data is believer. Let me go over here and try to load that particular data. Maybe I'll just comment this particular part. I'll remove it. So I'm beginning the transaction, loading the data of number 2 record, committing it. Okay, do a right click, run as, and Java application. We'll be seeing that one query will be fired. Okay, one select query is getting fired, and basically it's trying to fetch me the record of number 2. Okay, and if you want to print it over here, you can just do sysout, and you can just do song over here. So I can see the song class data, which is basically getting fetched right over here. Okay, cool. Okay, maybe before I proceed and before I start doing something today, maybe I will be just doing a little more configuration here, so that it will be an easy and smooth journey for us. Guys, you can see whenever I'll be writing this line number 23, it is basically helping me to fire a query. Okay, which query? It is helping me to fire a select query, this one. Okay, so it is basically doing select from song. These are the columns that I want to fetch, and basically it is trying to give the ID with this question mark. So what is exactly the ID which is going to this question mark? You guys know about it, because the song ID, you know that here I am defining 2. So this ID should be 2. So if you want to externally view it, you can actually log the value which is basically going to the question mark as well, by the help of configuring logger. And let me tell you, Hibernate is very often to configure any kind of your favorite logging tools. As we are in very initial stage of this particular course, I am not sure how many of you basically understand logger in this point of moment. So maybe what I'll be doing, I have already created a file, guys, for you. No need to understand anything. Maybe it looks like something, Urdu or Chinese. If you don't understand Urdu or Chinese, it's going to look something like that if you never worked with logger before. So make sure, if you do not understand these things, right, if you don't if it is looking like something horrible or some of the language that you don't know, then do not even worry. I have just created a file. I'll be just make sure I'll be using and I'll be configuring logger with my application, so that I'll be also able to view the logging information that Hibernate is having while I'm starting my application. let me just tell you in one line, if you are very new to Logger, that Logger is going to help you to keep track of your application. The developers of Hibernate is basically had implemented a good logging facility so that whenever you'll be starting your application, and if you want to understand the application or if you want to understand the Hibernate in depth, you can make uses of those logging statements. So I am assuming that you do not know Logger, right? If you know it, maybe most of you are already experienced developer, you should be knowing about Logger for sure. But I'm talking about talking a fresher point of view. If you are very new to logging, do not even worry. Okay, so we will just make sure that this particular file will be placing it over here. I'll be giving you guys this particular file so that you guys can use it while you will be basically coding. So do not worry much about it right now. Okay, so first of all, to configure Logger with Hibernate, what we're supposed to do, we will be going to our pom.xml and we'll be adding the logging framework over here so that we'll be able to log things. For an example, I want to log what is this question mark value, then I will be logging that value to my console, and to log that particular value to the console, I need to configure Logger. So as I said, do not worry if you don't understand Logger. Okay, just keep following me if you want to see that. Maybe while you are practicing, if you want to ignore it, completely ignore it, I am fine. Just want to show you that particular value as well. Okay, so in the pom.xml, we will be adding our Logger framework or logging framework. So maybe I'll go to my Maven central repo and can include Log4j dependency, or I can go to this dependencies and click on add, search for Log4j. Log4j, is this the bundle? Okay, let's just select this one, Log4j, do okay, come to your pom.xml file. So here we have our Log4j jar installed, and this is basically the specification. We also need another dependency, which is basically going to be the implementation for this specification. Maybe for that, I'll be going to the dependency again, click on add, and we'll be adding JBoss logging. Maybe this one I can add, do okay. Come to pom.xml file. Right now I do have JBoss logging jar, and also I do have Log4j implementation. Okay, do Control S. This particular two things I'm adding because I want to configure logging with my Hibernate framework in order to see the value that I'll be having over here. Okay, we'll be tracking a lot of important information. Now let me close this pom.xml file. And one more thing I'll be doing right now, I'll go to my source main resources. I'll do right click right over here, do a new, and click on file. And if we'll be doing log4j.properties, I have to create a file called log4j.properties, exactly same as this one. Create this file, go to the source, then I'll be giving you this file. Don't worry, I have already written this piece of code. We don't need to understand right now whatever I have written. I don't like to tell this line, but yeah, so let's ignore this particular things for now. I have already set up everything to close everything. Now let's try to run this particular app one more time. Do right click, run as Java application, and maybe the things will work smoothly. Now look at that. Hey, hold on. Log4j.properties.
We need to upgrade, right?
We need to update, right? Do a Maven update. Let's try to do a Maven update. Run as Maven update project. You can see that I think I have configured everything. I'll check. Okay, once it's done, then just go to update project one more time. Let's do right click, run as Java application. Come on, show me the value. Okay, the value is still not there. Can I go to the log4j.properties? And what's happening over here? So SQL basic binder, I'm gonna turn this to info, okay, or I'm gonna make it to trace label. Don't worry about this. I'll be giving you this particular file. Let me go over here, do a right click, run as Java application. I just want to care about the value that I want to get. Yeah, look at that right now. So right now you'll be getting one more extra line here, and this is basically printed by your logging framework. And now this particular thing will tell you that for the number one binding parameter, this question mark, this is the binding parameter 1. The value of this one is right now 2, because we are basically giving here 2. So to this question mark, the value which is going is 2. Okay, if you want to change it to 3, do Control S, do run this one more time. You will be seeing to that question mark, the value which is getting binded is 3. To here it is going 3. Okay, hopefully we are on the same page, and we'll be using this logger in order to track what are the values which are getting binded with this question marks and with this named parameter. And that's why only I'll just told you to add logger. So I'll be giving you guys this particular file, and if anyone is fresher and do not understand anything about logger, don't worry, just use this file. You'll be getting these particular things, and whenever I'll be teaching you guys logger in your course, maybe at the time you will understand everything line by line right over here. Okay, perfect. So now the next thing, so now we are basically trying to load something. We are trying to load the record 3 data. Let me go to the database, and in the record 3 we have called ho. Let me try to load the believer. Okay, let me do number 2, and it will be giving me the believer object. Right over here I'm getting the believer object back. Okay, and I want to do one thing, guys. I'm just planning to update, okay, the song name believer to believer dash updated. If I supposed to do that, you know that how to do that. Once I load that particular song, I'll be doing song with this particular reference song, the one that I have over here. I'll do song dot set song name, whatever the song name right now is. Let me copy that song name, Control C, go over there, paste it. So to this string I'll be adding some more information. Let's say I'll be adding believer updated. Okay, just like this, Control S. Now the moment I'm going to be running this, you know that here it is going to fire you a select query, and this one will help you to fire let me just try to update this song object, right? So I will be doing session dot update. Okay, and I'll update the song object that I have set some information. This update I'll be doing with this song object, because some value I have changed. I have only changed the song name, not the artist, not the ID, only the song name. So you know that this update will help me to fire a update query and will update my song information, and next time the moment I'll be refreshing, you will be seeing the song name will be updated. So right over here, if I'll be updating this one, running this one, look at that, what happened. First of all, a select query got fired. Okay, and we got this song object back, which is believer, and this time a update query is also got fired, and it is trying to update the song and is setting the value of singer and song name. We did not change any value of a singer, we have only changed the value of the song name. So everything it is fetching from this song object, because this song object, the record is already there in the database. Everything is filled in with this song object, the values, and from that value we have only modified the song name. So now it is setting everything. You can see right now the ID, the number 1, it is setting the ID value is setting as number 1 parameter, it is setting over here, and the number 2 parameter, it is basically believer updated, because here we have done that. So the number 2 parameter, which is number 2 parameter, which one is that? This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. Okay, number 1 is your ID. Now this particular thing is basically going to the song name over here, and then the song ID will be replaced to this one. So now if I'll be running this, so I hope the things has been changed in my database, and here you can see, okay, this is basically ID. Okay, the singer name is ID, that's why I got confused. So that's why it is saying ID here. Okay, ID means this is the singer name. The ID is coming over here. This is not your primary key ID. The singer name is ID, right? So that's our first parameter, singer. So singer name is ID, then the song name, which is believer, which is going to the second parameter, and third one is song ID, and song ID is right now 2, because here we have mentioned that the song object that we are having, that's for the number 2 object, right? And everything is working like a charm, and we are able to update the data to the database, and you can see it's believer updated. Now here is my question, guys, and now we are actually going to begin the story for today. Now right over here, if you will be going to this particular line number 27, and let me just change this thing to ABC, but I will not be using any update call. I'm not going to update this song object. I'm not going to explicitly give this song object to my update method. And if I will be doing that, if I'll be removing this one, and I'll be doing Control S, then the code looks very simple, right? We are beginning the transaction, we are then loading the data of number 2, we are logging the song, then again we are setting the song, then we are just changing it, but we are not making an update call. But right now, if I'll be doing a save, or sorry, right now if I'll be running this application, you will be something crazy will happen. As you can see right now, this is believer updated. Look at that, I'm not doing session.save here, I'm not saving the object explicitly, I have removed that line. But the moment I'll be running this, look at that, an update query has been called, and the singer name goes as ID, but the song name is changed to ABC. Basically the ABC that I have written over here, that is basically replaced with this particular parameter, and the third parameter is number 2 right over here. So it did run a update query, it did issue an update query, and if you'll be going over here, if you're going to be refreshing this, you can see that right now the song object has been changed, and the record in the database has been changed. Right now here we have to understand, like, how this thing is happening, and once you understand this thing, lot of the confusion will be cleared out, and also you'll be able to understand, like, well, a lot of exceptions, lot of problems you can just resolve in one go. But before I proceed, do you understand the requirement? Do you understand what I'm trying to express here today? Yeah, can you just let me know? I'm a little disturbed today because of something happened in the morning. So just let me know if I'm able to make you understand, and if you are okay with the goal basically that we are trying to achieve right now. Kishore, can you just give me a update? Yes, no? We're on the same page so far?
Yes, or less.
Okay. Can someone else also confirm me if we are on the same page, guys, please?
Yeah, Bilash.
Okay, perfect. Now let's understand the story from here, right? So basically, how did this particular update is happening? Now you'll be seeing, previously we used to have couple of SQL query over here. The first SQL query that we are having over here, Hibernate is issuing a select query because of the load, because of the get method that we have. And the next update query is happening because we are trying to change some data. Right now, again, if you're going to be running the same program, it will not update, it will not issue an update query. You'll be seeing, if you'll be running this particular program, only the select query will be issued. You can see only the select query has been issued because of this line. But right now there is no update query is happening. Now if you'll go going and running this application for thousands time, you will not be seeing any select query happening here, or sorry, any update query is getting issued over here. You can see there is no update query is issuing. Now the moment you're going to change this data to something else, okay, which is right now previously the data was in the database is ABC, right? The moment you're going to be changing the data over here, anything else you are setting with this song object, now you can see that it is going to force an update statement over here. Okay, now you can see an update statement is fired. Now it is also setting the song name as whatever you are setting right over here. Okay, and if you'll go to the database, you can see this ABC is going to be changed to that thing. Now again, try and notice over here, I'm going to run the same program again. It will not issue any update statement. Look at that. There is no update statement here. Right click, run as update statement. It will not update, not issue any update statement. Okay, so what is the foundation and fundamental right over here, and let me make you understand that thing. Okay, so let's try to understand the concept of persistence context, what we call in JPA, or in Hibernate what we call session. Let's try and understand how basically the things happened. Okay, now let's say we have a song called okay, we have a text called AB. Let me try to make an update right now. This time this is AB, right? So once that is happened, this will be changed to AB. It should change to AB. Did it update? Song name, let me save it to run it one more time. Let me update the song name as AB. Okay, it did issue an update query. Go there, refresh it. It's changed to AB. Okay, now here is my requirement, guys. Okay, now I have an updated song name. Now I want to update the song to, let's say A B C D E. Okay, the current value that I have over here, whenever this line will be fired, if I'll not be writing this, you know that it will be getting me the record with the data AB. Okay, run this. Okay, we are getting AB for the number 2 record because we have the data over here called AB. Now understand this. Let me activate my drawing mode. Now try and understand what's happening over here. In the line number 19, look at that. Okay, we are opening a session. You know that what do you mean by opening a session, right? Session, as I have told you, treat it like a context which is going to store your objects or which is going to keep track your objects. So this is going to be your session object, the session object that we are creating over here. So I'm going to name this as session. Okay, so inside this session right now we are opening the session. That means you know that we have our database and we have an active connection to our database whenever we opening the session. Now what we're trying to do, we are beginning the transaction and we are loading the song object here. There is an object we are loading from the database. Okay, this is that object. What is that object name? Song. So let me write the object name as song. Okay, now this object we are loading from the database. The ID of that object is 2. Okay, from this database the record 2 object we are loading, and all the data will be over here. But right now let me only write the song name. Previously my song name is AB. Okay, in the database for the number 2, the song name that we have over here is called AB, and then some more information. I'll not be writing that. So this is one object that we are having in our session right now. Our session is managing this object. So can someone tell me in which state this particular song object is right now in? What is the state of this particular object? I'll give you 3 of them. Yes, persistent object, because the session is managing that particular object, so it's a persistent object. Perfect. So now the next thing here is that we are trying to print the song. The moment we are going to write this line, I forgot to write this line. Maybe I'll just do one thing. Maybe I'll just go over here. I will uncomment this. Control S. Again, I'll come to here. Okay, cool. So the moment we will be writing this line, guys, what will happen? So first you try to understand before you come to this line, what will happen whenever you'll be doing this thing. So you know that whenever you'll be doing this thing, the song object will be loaded to your session. Okay, and you know about that because this is the persistent object. The moment the object will be loaded to the session, the same copy of this object will be created. Another snapshot of this particular object will be created. We'll be going much more details into that internally. Later we'll be debug the code and we'll see that. But for now you can see there is another song object is created or taken. Another snapshot of this particular object has been taken. Same object 2. Then let's say the data that we have over here, the song name is here AB. Okay, now this is the thing that we have that happens, right? You are loading the song object. Also another snapshot is taken, and also this is also lying in the memory. The moment you are doing session.set song name and you are changing the song name, so what is basically Hibernate is doing, you know that right now you have changed the song name, right? So now look at that. If I'll be erasing this AB, because right now the song name has been updated to this one, ABCDE, right? Now once that has been updated, I am not doing any update. I'm just trying to do a commit. That means I am telling my Hibernate that, hey Hibernate, now I am done with everything. Just try to flush this object. Flush, you know about the flush. In washroom we have flush, right? Just like that. We want to push this object to the database. Now before Hibernate is going to push the song object. Now look at that. This is the song object that we have inside the memory. This is inside the session, right? Now another song object we have, but if you're going to compare this particular to song object, then you will be seeing the data of this song object, which is managed by the session, is right now changed, right? And this particular object was in different state previously whenever we have loaded this particular song object. Right now, after we loaded the song object, we have issued this line, which basically get our object to another state. Now our object state has been changed. The object was in this state previously. Now the same object has been changed to this state. Now if you're going to compare these two objects, which is the same object, the primary key here is 2, the primary key here is 2. Now if you're going to be changing this couple of objects right now, you'll be seeing that this object has been changed. Now the Hibernate will do what? Okay, so we have this object previously, but right now it is changed. So now it is going to update all the value, like here it is AB right now, right? So it is going to make sure that it will take value from here, and whatever the things has been updated, it is going to write it over here. Then it is going to push this object to the database, and while pushing, it will just issue an update statement, right? So this is what we call a automatic dirty checking. So see, we have not written any update statement. So how basically the update statement is getting issued? Because here Hibernate is managing the object, and in this line we are changing something in the object. So we made the object dirty. So the object that we have over here, that object we made it dirty. Now when we are pushing this particular object, Hibernate is doing a comparison with this object and this object, and accordingly it is updating the value. Then only it is pushing the object to the database in case the object is dirty. If the object is not dirty, right now same code will be running. Okay, let's say I'm gonna delete everything. Now imagine here you are opening the session, right? This is your session. Now here you are loading the object. Okay, an object has been loaded, and number 2, let's say right now the value is ABCDE. Imagine right now this program has already ran and the value updated to ABCDE. Okay, now another object also will be there. This will be also to ABCDE. Now again you are trying to change the song object right over here. Okay, so no problem. Again this ABCD, if you're going to be change this ABCD again, this is again going to be ABCD. Now when it is going to do a commit, it is going to compare these two objects. Is the state of this object changed? This is the first state. This is the second state after making so many updates over here to the properties. Let's say song name we are changing for thousands time, but we are changing with ABCDE only property. Is these two values are same? Yes, the object are in same state. No need to issue any update statement in that case, right? So that's how you'll be seeing. If I will be going to over here, and if I'll be running this particular program, you'll be seeing right over here, what is the value we have? AB. So in this case, the song object, that the song name will be AB. Now here we are changing the song name to ABCDE. So the session object which it is managing is right now we are making it dirty right over here. And whenever we'll make that object dirty, Hibernate will do the automatic dirty checking whenever it is going to flush or whenever it is going to push the object to the database. And whenever it is going to make a commit, it is going to check, okay, then the developer has changed the object. That means it's automatic dirty checking. Well, the object has been dirty, so I will be issuing a update statement and I'll do the update. No need to externally call the update method. So if you're going to run this, so you'll be seeing previously this was AB. Okay, now it is making an update statement, and it is basically updating our song name with ABCDE right over here, and it is doing a commit. And before it does the commit, it makes sure that okay, it is going to issue a update statement because the our object state has been changed by the developer right over here in the line number 27. Now if you'll be going over here and if you'll be running this, see it is ABCDE right now. But if you're going to come back again and if you're going to run the same code again, you'll see that nothing will happen. Do run as Java application, only one select query will be fired over here, but there will be no update query. See, there is no update query right over here, because now when Hibernate is comparing that both objects, okay, which is internally managing, well, it is saying that okay, you are only you don't have any changes to that original object, so you have not changed the object state, right? You are basically doing the same thing. If you're gonna run this, if you're gonna copy this and paste it for just like this for 1000 times, no problem, still there will not be any update query will happen. Right click, run as Java application, and you will see that there is still no update query, because many times you are modifying the object, but you are modifying with the same content. So initially whatever the object that we had over here the value was ABCDE. In the database we have ABCDE right over here. So the song name is ABCDE over here. Again you are trying to change the song name to ABCDE here, ABCDE here. Again you are doing the same thing here, 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 here. Then what's the difference? The object state is not changing, right? So it will not update any other things. But one more important thing here. Now what if now I'm going to change it to A, then I'm going to change it to ABC, then I'm going to change it to ABCD. Now how many update query will be issued? Interesting, isn't it? See, here it is do a select query. It is going to load the data from the database. Right now, what is the data we have here? A, B, C, D, E we have over here. So it will be A, B, C, D, E. Then now we are trying to modify this song object right over here. We change it to A. Now you imagine we have two objects, right? I have told you guys we have two objects, right? We have two objects. First object, this is the object right now, which has been initially loaded to A, B, C, D, E is the value. Now we have another object, and the moment we are going to change this object, let's say 2, initially it is A, B, C, D, E. Okay, the same copy of object we have over here and we have over here. Now we are doing song.set name of, let's say A. Now the value will be updated to A. Then again we are doing song.set name of ABC or AB. Now it will be updated to AB. Now again we are updating ABC. Again we are updating ABCD. All the things are basically impacted in the same object. It is not going to issue many many object query, because one object only. The moment you're going to do set, it is going to keep updating the value inside the same object only. And the moment you're going to do a commit, it is going to compare the both two objects. Okay, what is the last value of the song name? It is ABCD. Okay, it is ABCDE, it is ABCD. I'll change this to ABCD, and with this value I'll just do an update, and that's what you're going to see over here. Now let me just clear this out. Now you will be seeing over here all these changes that you will be seeing here. It will be impacting on the copied object. Here again it will be changing the song name of the copied object. Here again it will be changing the song name of the copied object, and at last this is the last value of the song name. Before we do a commit, it is going to check, it is going to do a compare with the second object with the object that right now we have over here. And of course right now we have changed that one, because this is ABCDE over here, this is ABCD over here. Now you'll be seeing it will be issuing one update statement only. For each song name it will not be firing a one update statement. Instead, what happened? I have not saved it. Control S. Am I teaching you wrong? So let's see that. Okay, now see how many update query? Only one, because at last you're gonna make all the modification. We are basically impacting to one object only, right? And at last only the modified object and the loaded object are getting compared. Okay, and that's how we are running the thing. So what is the last value here? ABCD. So right now this will be changed to ABCD. If I'll do a refresh. Tell me guys, so far you guys are good? Yes, no? No extra question. I'll be telling you a lot of different things right now with this concept, whatever I have told you right now. Are you guys comfortable? Yeah, Rahul, you are saying something. Okay. Yeah.
You told snapshot and object inside the session, right? So whether we can able to get those values before the commit?
Yes, you can get those values right now. See, one thing you remember, Chaitanya, whenever you are creating a new object, that's in transient state basically, and the transient state objects are always dirty. Okay, and once you are loading a object, this is in persistent state, but once you're gonna make the changes to this particular object, you are basically setting the song name. As many times you are making the song object dirty only, but you are changing the object from persistent state, you are changing it to transient state, and you are making it dirty. Right now you want to get the value, you can do it. You can do song dot get song name, right? It is gonna get you the song name. What is the last updated value that you have done over here? That value only it will give you. Sys out. No worries, same thing only, same Java concept only, but you have to understand how it is working. That's you can see that if you understand this, the next thing will be very simple. See, you are getting ABCD, right? Because that's the value you have set over here last time, isn't it?
I want to get the previous one.
You want to get the previous value, but you have already modified the object. How will be getting the previous value from this song object? Now,
because it's stored in the session, right?
No, we have no. One second. So okay, let's not get confused in that way. Let me put a breakpoint over here. A B C D E F. Let me make it. Okay, now let me do right click, debug as Java application.
Abhilash, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. I think his question is like, is the same copied object is modifying, or it is creating a new session? So that is, I guess.
Same copied object we are modifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
so
you
basically
clarify
you
that,
want
that
to
would
understand,
be,
Chaitanya, how that you want to deal with the object that Hibernate is internally managing.
No, Bliss. 1 minute, I will repeat it.
Okay.
So in session, there is one object after 29th line, right? So here two objects are there. One is snapshot object and another one is which the object is there in the session. Two objects are there, right?
The way that commit will happen, I'm going to be showing you. Okay, we need to understand that will happen in some level. That the object right now, this object will be passed in many different way, and the way the automatic dirty checking will work, we have to understand there are so many listeners involved here. So we need to understand how those listeners are working. I'll be showing you those things, but I'm just telling you to give you a concept how the things are happening internally. But yes, that's a valid question. If you right now you want to get the track of the original object and the object that you are dealing with, no, right now just forget about that. I will be telling you, even though you are able to deal with that object, do not do anything with that object that Hibernate is internally managing, because I'll be showing you in which class that is happening later. But now you can see with this song object, this is the loaded song object, id number 2 abcd. Now we are doing session.song name of a. Now the song name will be changed to a. Now again we are doing abc. Now you can see inside the song it will be changed to abc. Now again we are modifying the song object one more time. If you hover over here, it is changed to abcdef. Now with this value only, whenever it will make a persist the original object, the both of the object will be compared, and then only the flush will be happened. Okay, so if I'll do run, so the update statement has been issued. We will be going into that thing, but a little later. And if you want to see that how the things are internally working, we have to do the debug, Chaitanya. Okay, so yeah, we will be coming back to that. So now let's go to the next stuff here. Okay, so far with this much of concept, whatever I have given, okay, are you guys comfortable, or any other questions? Whatever I taught you guys already. If you are, can you please confirm me once, Ashish? Are you able to catch it, Ashish? Anyhow, you have not watched the last 2 sessions.
Yeah, I'm good. I guess I'm good.
Okay. Akhil, you're good? Dina?
Yes, Abhilash, clear, Abhilash.
Khushbu, Lavanya, Nagasri, Somik, Srija, Srinivas.
Abhilash, I have one question.
Yes, Abhilash.
Abhilash, the 27th line, we are changing to the persistent object.
Yes.
No, Abhilash,
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Now you just think that much only, Lavanya. Okay, you just now
Okay,
I just given you that pictorial representation, so you have something in your mind. And next time, whenever I'll be explaining, I'll be going a little one step further. We'll be digging more details into that, how that things are getting managed internally, right? We'll be basically seeing what are the processes that particular object is going through. Basically, I can show you one thing if you guys are interested. I don't want to show you that in this stage, but yeah, I can show you one thing, maybe in the log. Maybe I'll just change this to Control S, delete it, go to the update statement, look at that. In the line number 23, we are loading the object. So what is the value that we have inside the database? Is ABCDEF, right? It is ABCDEF, right? This is the value that we have inside the database. Now let's say I want to change the value to all time hits all. Let's say there are a bunch of songs over here. Now you'll be saying, the moment I will be running this particular program, I'll be having a lot of log printed in my application. Run this. Now you'll be seeing there will be so many things in your application. Don't get mad with this. I'll be telling you what I mean. There are so many because see, whenever we're running your application, we have so much things happening by the framework, and they have given some glory details if you want to understand line by line what's happening. But we really don't need to care about this right now. I want to show you few lines. So if someone is not comfortable with Logger, please don't freak out. Please just see whatever the things I want to show you right now. So this is where I'm making a select query. My select query is basically fired in this moment. The moment I'm just making a load over here in the line number 23. Okay, so then I'm trying to make a commit here. But before we make a commit, I have made the changes. Maybe I can remove this couple of lines. And here I'm updating my song object to all time hits or something. Okay, now I don't need to get anything. Okay, this is just for showing you. Okay, and also I'll be removing this thing. Now look at that. Okay, here I'm loading the song, here I'm updating the song, no update I'm externally calling. But the moment I have ran that particular line, okay, I already ran this particular program, you will be seeing it is issuing an update statement, and before it issued an update statement, you will see few things. See, dirty checking collection. Before the update has been made, it is checking the dirty checking collection. It is checking, it's flushing the session while it is push the data, while it is pushing your song object to your database. It is basically checking the dirty objects that you have inside the session. And now it is seeing, you can able to see that com.selenium express.song name is dirty. Okay, inside the song class, song name property is dirty right now. Found the dirty properties, it only track the dirty properties from the song class, and that dirty properties is song name. Okay, it is saying song 2 because this is a proxy object. This is that duplicate object. It uses something. I'll be coming into that. Let's not get mad with the proxy and something. You can think like this is the other object that we have, the duplicate object. Inside that object, the song name property has been changed, and now it found that 0 insertion, 1 update it needs to do, and 0 deletion, 0 insertion, but 1 update it needs to do for 1 object. Okay, and for that object right now it is listening to the entities because there are so many other things happening, and you can see this is basically going to be your property right now. Song name is all time hits, artist is ID. ID means basically this is the band name of the Believer song, and basically this is basically the ID. The primary key is 2, and here Hibernate is making a update query, right? So because we are basically changing that particular object to all time hits. Okay, now if I'll be going over here and looking inside this all time hits all, this is the data that we have updated. But right now again, if you're going to be running this, you won't be seeing that this thing. Hold on one second. You won't be seeing this dirty checking collection. You won't be finding any dirty properties, and also you will not be seeing this one update is happening, and you won't be seeing this particular update query got fired, because right now whenever we'll be loading the same object right over here, this will have right now this data, all time hits all. Copy this, paste it over here. Now this data only you'll be getting over here. Now whenever you'll try to say the same property over here, the Hibernate dirty checking will be seeing that okay, there is he is making some update, but the same, we are inside the same state, whatever the state that object is inside, the same state that we have inside the database. There is no changes to this record. Then it will not fire any update statement. Do a Java application, go over here, and you'll be seeing, can I see it is the select query. After that, before it does something, you can see dirty checking collections, flushing the entities. Now you can see there is nothing, 0 insertion, 0 updates, 0 deletion. Okay, so we do not find any dirty properties right now. But the moment you're gonna give anything to this particular thing, let's say all with double L, right? Do Control S, do right click, run as Java application, your dirty checking will kick in. Okay, now this time you'll see a update statement. See, you are seeing a update statement. Just before the update statement, it will be saying dirty checking collections, flushing the entities, found the dirty properties, song name. Okay, now if you'll be again doing something, if you'll be again running this one, that particular dirty properties will not be found because that is in persistent state right now. Okay, so there is nothing you'll be finding over here. Okay, dirty checking things, no updates. Okay, 0 updates. But not only the song object right now, let's say I will be changing the ID. Let's say song dot, let's not say the ID, let's say artist, and I'll be saying artist is, let's say IDDDD. Okay, now you'll be saying again, it will kick in the dirty dirty checking, and you will be seeing that this time because of the song ID, look at that over here, one update, dirty checking properties, updating the entity song. Okay, see, this time the artist property has been changed. So you have to understand this thing. Each property that you have inside that object, each property will be compared. Okay, the proxy that you have, the duplicate object that you have with the fake object and the original object that your session is managing. line by line, the property by property, everything will be compared, and it will be saying that of the previous state of the object, whether that state of the object is matching with the newer state. In this case, it is not matching because we have changed the artist name this time. Okay, and obviously it made an update. Right now, if you'll be seeing, the singer will be changed to IDDT something. Okay, hopefully
Abhilash, when you say different state, so you mean the data or like
yeah,
the
data only.
persistent
State
of
means
data
what,
state?
Akhil? Now you are in talking state, right? After some time you'll be sleeping, right? You'll go into the sleeping state. So previous state
Okay.
and the next state will be vary, right? Right now you are talking, after 2 minutes also you'll be talking to me. So you are in the same state. Okay, you have a property, you have an object, the object has different property, like different variable, the variable data has been initialized. Now previously the student name was Akhil. Now I'm changing the student name to Akhil Nibar. Now the student object is changed, the state of the student object is changed because its properties are changed, isn't
Okay.
it? So the object
But
state
both will
means
be
uh-huh.
in persistent state, right?
Yes, that will be in persistent state, but before we push that object, the dirty checking will kick in, and it will make the dirty checking again make the object go into the database, even though it is in the persistent state. Okay, so then now okay, now the next couple of things, I have taken so many time explaining this. Yeah, please, Srija.
So Abhilash, while updating this, like you said, it will change the state, right? So it will change the state to transient, then update, then it will again go to persistent.
Okay, everyone is in the same page, right? I mean, we guys are on track right now, because I'll be showing you a few things, and this issue you'll be having in your day-to-day project for sure, and you need to understand how you'll be fixing it. Let me quickly take another 20 minutes, and this 20 minutes will just speed up a little bit. I think we are good with this. So now let's say, let me just change this to, okay, now look at that, what I'm gonna do. Okay, here I'm doing a commit. I'm doing session dot close here, and after I close the session, I'll just update the song name, and I'm gonna update to ABC. Okay, now what will happen? Do you think the automatic dirty checking will kick in and ABC will be updated to my database? So what is your feelings?
No, I think.
Why? If no, why?
Because session got
Because session
Is removed.
Session is closed.
Closing the
right?
session.
exactly, session is closed means the session flush has already been happened during the time we did the commit, and then now the session is closed. Right now, if you're gonna be doing this, now you see what happened. Basically, in the diagrammatically, if you're gonna understand this, the next couple of things will be easy. Now look at that. Here you have a session, just like this. You got a object loaded over here in this line. Okay, the two, and let's say the song object. There is something. Let's say all time hits. Okay. Now you are printing it, committing it, closing it. The moment you're gonna do session.close, what will happen? This object will be over here, but this session will be gone, right? This object will be gone. Okay, now this is gone. Now try and understand this. The session is closed, that object is gone. Now you are setting the song name again to ABC. I'm making it over here only. Now this all time hits, you are changing it to ABC. Okay, this is how your code looks like, and this is how the object is in right now. But the moment you're gonna be doing right now, if you're gonna be if you're gonna be running this application, nothing will happen because the object only you are modifying. Now if you're gonna be put your breakpoint over here, right click, run as, let's say debug as Java application. Let's just have the break over here. Now you'll be seeing you already have a breakpoint over here, right? Now the song that we have is all time hits all. Now you will be running this one, and you will be closing the session. Now the session has been closed. Now the session has been closed. If you're gonna hover on this, you'll be seeing that the session close property session. Maybe can I show you the close property? This session is right now in closed state. Now if you're gonna be hover on this song, this song at the song name is all time hits, but the moment you're gonna be running this particular line, it is going to change that property name only. Hover on this. It did not execute, I believe. Okay, I'm already out of that line. Now when the line will be executed, this song object property only will be changed. Okay, I am not able to show you that because okay, maybe I could have printed.
Abhilash,
Yeah.
after closing the session, now object is in the
Detached state.
right?
It is in detached state. Okay.
Now still it is. Now
Yeah.
changing the value. But
Yeah.
still it is in detached state, right?
Exactly. So nothing will happen because it is already in detached state. Okay, I'm just turning off the log. It is already in the detached state. Only the object you are changing, right? So nothing will happen. So no update query will be issued. You will be saying right now. Let me run this. Look at that. Right now you are just changing the song name, but this object is a detached state. Okay, this object that you are having over here, the song object, now it went into the detached state, isn't it? Because right now this is persistent state. Now you are doing session.close. Now this object that you have, this is got detached. Okay, now whenever you are making any changes to this, you are changing the detached object only. So it is not managed by the session. That's why there is no update query is getting triggered. Okay, so now the next thing here
But
is,
Abhilash, it should not give you illegal state exception.
no, you are not doing anything because you are not dealing with the session. The moment you're going to be doing, okay, I'm going to force my session that, hey session dot just do the update, session.update. Now let's give this song object. Let's try to update forcefully. Let's see what is going to happen. Obviously I'm trying to do session dot something and the session is closed here, right? Now of course we'll be getting the illegal state exception right now because the session is closed, right? See that illegal state exception, session or entity manager is closed. Are we okay with this right now, Akhil?
Yes, Abhilash, now got it.
Now my question is, now here is the thing. Okay, here is the question. Now question here is that now if I want to persist this ABC, I want to update the song. Now look at that, the song that we have, everyone listen to this. Now the song that we have is all time hits over here. Okay, now after the session is closed, I'm trying to update it and I'm giving it to the session.update. Of course this is basically giving me an exception here. Okay, because the session has been closed already, and how you are basically using this session object again, because it is already closed, you are closing it over here. Okay, here we are closing the first session. Okay, now I'm trying to do an update, so this will not happen. So in order to achieve it, you have to open a new session. So you already have a session factory here. Copy the session factory, go down here, do session factory dot open session, and just do a control 1 on this, assign statement to new local variable. Let's say this session 2. Okay, hold on 1 second. Can I do control 1, assign statement to new local variable. Let me create another session object. Let's say new session. Okay, now let me do new session dot update, and let me wrap it off with a begin transaction and close transaction. Let me say new session dot begin transaction. Okay, and let me also commit it, new session dot get transaction dot commit. Okay, do a control S. Now this time this will work, and this time you will be seeing that, okay, this will be updated. Now if I'll be running this, it will issue an update statement, you will be seeing. Okay, look at that, it did issue the update statement. Now the song name has been changed to ABC. Go over here, run this, this is changed to ABC. Now you have to understand this thing right now, what you have done. If you can understand this, the next one will be easy for sure. Now look at that, what we have done so far. So here we are opening the session. Okay, or this is one session object. We have an object here. Okay, number 2 object, and the value is, let's say, something. Okay, the value is something over here. Now we are closing the session over here. So this object went into from the persistent to the detached state. Okay, and now whenever you are making the song, you are changing the state of the object right over here. So now this is updated to ABC. Okay, now you are opening a new session, so another session object got created. So what is the session object name? New session. This is new session. Now you are forcefully giving this song object that you have over here which is inside the data state right now. Now this object again you are giving it to the new session. So new session dot update, this object you are giving to the session. Now this session is having this to ABC, right? Now whenever you are doing a commit, this object state is getting compared with your database. Now in the database you have a record where the song name is ABCDE. Now it is changed to ABC. Now this will be pushed to the database. If this object is different than your database record, this will be pushed to the database. Okay, now that's why the things are happening. Okay, that's why the things are working over here. You have to create a new session object over here. Now if you're gonna be making it ABCD something, let's say new song. Okay, now even though this object is in data state right now, as we are creating a new session, this should work. Run this. Okay, we should have a update query fired. There we go. Okay, new song, go over there, run this. This is new song. Making sense, guys? We're on the same page. One last thing, then I'll wrap up. Please quickly say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, one last thing. This is the craziest thing for this, all this drama that we have done today. Okay, now look at this. We have a song object over here. We have changed this, let's say new song 1, 2, 3. Now look at that. Here we're opening the session factory, right? Right over here, a new session. Now look at that very carefully, guys. Here what I'll be doing, let's say using this new session, again I'll try to load that particular song. New session dot get. Now I'll just try to get the same object. Previously I was getting 2, right? I'll be getting number 2 object again, and this is my song class object. Let's say song dot class. Now look at that, what will happen. Okay, there you go. Do Control S. Now if you're gonna be doing this thing, you'll be getting a crazy exception. Now look at that. Now you are basically getting your song object right over here using the first session. So what is the song you have currently in the database? This is the object. Control C it, go over here. This is the data you have over here, new song. Now here you are closing it. The session will be destroyed and this song object will go to the data state. Okay, now you are updating the song object. Now the song object got changed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you are basically printing the song. So you will be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. Let me not print it. Okay. Now you are opening another session and you are loading the same object. Okay. Now you are loading the same song object. See over here, you are trying to load the same object. Maybe right over here, I can just assign a statement to new variable. Now you are loading the same song object right over here. Now this session is also holding another object which ID is 2. Now look at that. If you can understand this, then all the efforts that we have put for today's lesson is successful. Look, understand this. One final thing. You are opening a session. You have a session here. One object you are loading right over here. The ID is 2 and it is the song class object. The value that we have here is called new song right here. Here we are closing this particular session. So obviously this particular session will be gone. Okay. Now understand this one. I think someone needs to be on mute. Please check your microphone, guys. And now, please everyone check your microphone. Yeah. Now look at this. Now in this line, we are just changing the song name. So this will be modified to new song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be new song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, new song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With this, it will be modified. Now we are creating a new session object right over here. So we have another session object right over here called new session. New session. Okay. Now what we have, we are beginning the transaction and loading the another song object. Again, we are doing new session.get and we are trying to load the number 2 object again. And obviously the previous data, because this is where we change the data, but doesn't matter because this data has not been persisted yet to the database. So here we have the persisted data. So new song is there in the database. So we have new song here. Okay. Now you are doing what? New session.update of song. This song is what? This guy. This guy. This is your song object. Okay. This is your song 2 object. Because you can see new session.get. You are saving it with song 2. So this is your song 2 object. Now look at that. Whenever you are telling the new session to update the song object, update this object. Right now you are saying that this object also you only manage. Now you look at that. Okay, now you can imagine like this. This session has couple of objects right now. But the problem here is guys, look at this thing, the primary key. This primary key is also 2. This primary key is also 2. Okay, now this guy will say, okay man, I'm already holding an object. Which ID is 2. Now again you are trying to tell me to update another song object, which is this one, which ID is also 2 over here, which has a different data. So now I'm confused. Which one to update? Now, I cannot do this. And if you're going to run this, guys, you will have an exception. Run this. And you will see an exception here. Look at that. And the exception called a non-unique object exception. Okay. A different object with the same identifier value was already associated with the session called song2. Okay. Now, basically what it is saying, guys, already we have an object here. Whenever we have written this line, we already have an object inside the session, which ID is 2. Now again, you are trying to do an update to this song object, which is this one, which is previously there, which ID is also 2. So which object to update? Now here we have to say, hey man, do one thing. We will not be using update. We'll be using merge. If you'll be using merge, then this thing will work. Then the value will be merged. The previous value that you had over here, that value will be merged to the new session object. Now if you're going to be run this will not give you any exception. Run this. See, the update query has been issued and new song 1 2 3 4 5 has been pushed. Now if you'll be going over here, run this is new song 1 2 3 4 5. So make sure whenever let's say you are making it 1 2 4 5 6 7 8 9 some value right over here, and you are using the update method, this will not work because the update method will not able to handle this scenario. Okay, run this. It will give you that exception that inside the same session we have couple of things. A different object with the same identifier value has already associated with the session, and that's why we are giving non-unique object exception. Okay, because the identifier is same. Now you need to say, okay, don't worry about this, merge the object. Okay, merge the value of the object. So the previous object value that we have over here, merge it with this song 2. Okay, don't worry about it and push that object. Run this. This will work. Okay, this is firing it. This is the new song. Go over here, run this. Things are working fine. Right? Tell me, guys, we're on the same page so far.
Avinash,
yeah.
Within this merge, if you write song 2, that will also work the same, right?